Welcome in. See if we can get some more light. I don't know where to put it. My halo light broke, so I just got this little this little clamp light that I got from the TikTok shop, actually. Back when it first started, they started that TikTok shop. And for those of you that don't know, Impressed, EMPRESSED. It might be Impress Me, so EMPRESSME at TikTok. Okay, I'll be going live there, likely for sure Tuesdays and Thursdays, to do free questions. Okay, I can't for sure say happy Thursday, Bank Bills. Yeah, I can't for sure say that it'll be, more than that, but I can at least commit to Tuesdays and Thursdays answering questions for free on TikTok. Now, once it picks up, then you will have to join the live. You'll have to show your face to get a free question. But right now, I'm just answering them from the chat. Pretty much just, putting the mirror up at myself, giving me an opportunity to see myself, show up for myself, working on self-discipline for some superficial things that I kind of had let go of for a while because it wasn't necessary, and now I got the time and I don't have an excuse. So that gives me an opportunity to show up, to be consistent, to build revenue, and just kind of mindlessly do it because I'm just going to read the tarot alone and kind of keep my own commentary short and sweet, or authentic at that, okay? Here, I intend to dive into energy that is basically received. So downloads, channel messages, maybe some of the deeper energies that come through. Hey, Miss Tiff, welcome. Okay, so you can expect that here. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, TikTok questions for free. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So make sure you follow over there. That's what I said that for. If you're interested in that. I just, yeah, this reading. Let's get back to this. What was the title? What was the title? God, yes, thank you. And we see you. So you know what I felt? I felt like all praise to the Most High. Trust your intuition over mine. But what I was feeling is like God is moving around right now and correcting the minds and the hearts. I feel as if he is like realigning us mentally to where we need to be. And this could be because of strategy. There could be something else that is going on that is trying to strategize your mind to move in a certain direction, which could take you back in a direction you don't want to be. For some of you, you could be going back, but it's back to go forward. Like you were actually more forward back then than you are right now. So you got off path. But never really off path. There was a lesson that needed to be learned. You may have went in the opposite direction. So for you, it could really be that you never really went backwards. You just kind of went to the side. So you made they call that, it's a shift or a move that does not elevate you, but it doesn't put you lower either. Okay, so I just feel like a lateral move is what you made. You just chose to go in the opposite direction. So I feel like God is bringing you back where you get to make a decision yet again. And there could be quite a few things that are going to play out for you where you already know what to do. You've done it before. You know what not to do. So you're getting the opportunity to relive something. It's kind of what it feels like. It'll feel a little bit like deja vu, but you're making the right choices. That's what I'm getting. Tiff, what time? So I have not committed to times yet. You know, with me, commitment, okay? I'm a commitment phobe now. But I'm committing to Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I can't say for sure the time, but I will say that I'll post the live. You'll be able to like sign up for it, or you'll see it on my page. Dog, so it don't give notifications, huh? Uh-oh. Because I was going to say I'll put it up like an hour in advance. But I'll try to just, maybe I can commit to making a time in the morning. For now, I'm just kind of catching whoever comes in. Because it may be even more than Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm just saying for sure Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be doing the questions for free. I did it yesterday, but I didn't like the time. I think I did it around 5 to 6. And you said TikTok can give notifications. Okay, I'll try to set that. Or if maybe, I don't know. Do you, yeah, please let me know. Do you have to sign up for it, or do I have to set it so that it'll notify people? Hi, I can't see your name. NYC, welcome. Okay. Thank you, Walkie Talkie, for walking yourself out. Because I don't know what you was on, but you know you was on something. You're dead wrong. All right. Yeah, this is, yeah, get on up out of here. Little demons be running in. They see they see God. They like, oh, they think they know God, or they think they see God. Let me come in here. Let me learn. This is what happens when you get happy, y'all. They all come. Just don't fall into the trap of thinking there's something wrong with that. They're just like, you know, like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh my God. Is God? No, it ain't God. You know, they don't believe in stuff, but it's okay. They don't have to believe in God for you to. You know how God move with you. It's a personal relationship. Yeah. And I'm just learning that too. Let people act bad or act nasty or act rude or be jealous or be envious or whatever. When you get to talking about God and really feeling God and seeing God in your life, it's okay for them to be upset. It's okay for them to act nasty and rude. You would too. If somebody else had a personal relationship with God so real that they could literally just talk about how God is moving and working in their life, something that they cannot see, but like the evidence of it. And not to mention your energy, your smile, your presence is a testimony to the fact that God is real and real in your life personally. You're like a celebrity out here on these streets because these people don't really know God for real. God, yeah, okay. That's something they say, maybe something they used to do, but when it really come down to it, your light will show the truth. Whether you for real for God, because if you really for God, you're always going to see God. Yeah, that's right. Tiff said facts, absolutely. All right, so God, we see you though, but let's just put in greater clarity what we see. Sometimes it's good. It's always good to talk about it. It's always good to talk about it. It's always good to be about it. And it's always good to receive the clarity of it, the confirmations, okay? Just take one other person to see what you done seen or to know what you know. And don't let it be a fucking total stranger, or don't let it be somebody that ain't been in your reality. Now you can't tell me shit. Whew. God makes me curse. I don't understand why people all this time, oh yeah, you know, you can't be holy, you don't know God if you curse. Are you kidding? God makes me curse. God's vibes is way too high. That's why I get loud. the devil energy, you can find a lot of peace there because that's where God has sent your ass to the ground. But basically that's God sending you to your room. So if you're a fallen angel when you're in your devil energy or your shadow energy, if you're a fallen angel, it's a lot different than when you stumble off into some dark devil's lair that was already created for you to fall trap or prey to, and it's a nightmare and it's scary and all of that. That's different. But God can send you to your room because you're not seeing it his way. You don't see him right now. You're not respecting him as the head of your life. That's fine. But you're going to go on down there to earth and get yourself together. Not saying you got to get on your knees and pray to me. Matter of fact, I don't even want to hear from you till you know what your truth is. But go on, sit down there and get some solitude and get some peace. That's how God be doing this, because we his kids. We act out, we act the fool, we act like we can't see him, we act like we can't wait on him. First off, we get mad because we got to do whatever God didn't do. And then we get upset because we don't see what he's going to do. Or because he haven't done what he said he was going to do yet. So then we feel like, well, we need to just hurry up and take the next step because our anxiety, because our stress, because other people, because anxiousness, because worry, because fear keeps telling us that we need to hurry up and do, or hurry up and fix, or hurry up and move. Just do anything. When God really was telling us to sit still. Go to your room, get some peace. And when you do, you'll see me. And then you'll know what to do. But until then, all right, guys, we ready. I'm ready. My son back there laughing. I don't know. I think he sent me to my room a couple times, but I be sending him to his room too. Whew. I think he sent me to my room like twice. He in his room now, but I ain't sent him there. He went there on his own. All right, let's see. Oh, that's because he wanted to be loud and unruly. I was on that phone taking care of business. Couldn't even hear because he was so loud. So probably he like, oh, now she about to talk to God. Let me go. All right. Sorry, guys. All right, timestamp. Let's get into these cards. 11:33. Let's get into these cards. Okay, let's see. So we have lipstick evidence in reverse. All right, on the lowest of the vibrational scale, someone's getting out of jail. This could be spiritually or physically. The charges are dropped, or there's evidence that wasn't seen. Something, they couldn't show up. They couldn't show up. They couldn't prove something. You know, evidence. There was no evidence. Someone could have said they caught you red-handed, or someone even had, you know, I don't know. They thought their what do you call that, testimony? Yeah, they weren't supposed to testify against somebody or whatever. There's no evidence of any kind of betrayal. There's no evidence of any infidelity. There's no evidence of someone cheating or doing something that they weren't supposed to do, being malicious or secretive, okay, or something like that. So yeah, this is lipstick evidence and it's in reverse. So this is freed of all charges on the lowest, okay? Other than that, there's just somebody had a skewed view of you. Somebody thought they knew what they did not know. And mostly this is God. I feel like the end game is what I'm saying. Yeah, that there would be like a bashing of the heads and a gnashing of their teeth, something like that. They're clenching their teeth and their head. They're banging their heads pretty much against these walls, these dead ends. They're doing the same thing, and it's not yielding better results. It's making them tight, tense. Okay. Some of you, this is gossip falling off of you, and you didn't have to do anything. God did this for you. God did this for you. Because God, I feel like God made your truth so loud that you don't even have to respond anymore. It's just being heard. We have penny pinching, financial struggles, saving up, and budgeting. Okay, you're budgeting a new way, but it's only because, like, God had to make it difficult for you for a moment because you were getting too comfortable. You were getting too comfortable. And it's not that you shouldn't be, but there's something else that you're meant to do, or there was another way to do things, something that would have been more beneficial for you. And now you're like allowing those opportunities through. The opportunities that could change your financial situation, that could make your financial situation better. Some of the tips, the tricks, the budgeting tools, they're coming towards you. You're being alerted to them. You're receiving opportunity, but you're also receiving like the discretion, okay, which opportunity is the best for you. They could all be opportunities, but I feel like you are more selective in the ones that you're choosing, and you would not have done it if it wasn't for this time period where you felt like you needed to be penny pinching. And for some of you, you really didn't have to, but it felt like that was your mindset. You kept second guessing yourself every time you go to do something for yourself, even if it's something small. It just felt like he was like, oh yeah, no, I don't need to do that. No, that's just wasting it. It's like you were going back to a scarcity mindset. And so I feel that there was some kind of fear There was some kind of fear that was triggered with you. This was to slow you down, because I just noticed myself talking a lot faster. So that it was just to slow you down a bit, because you were picking up on a momentum. It was a wavelength, one that you don't even ascribe to anymore. A lot of you, there has been some kind of skewed view in your life that money is never right. Like it either you don't value it, or you're afraid of what, the love of it could do to you. Or you just were taught to not pursue it, to pursue other things above it. But you were pushing it into a space where you could not even create the kind of finances that would allow you to feel that free about money. It's not easy to not care about money when everything that you need requires it. So when you are in a needy or like I said, that survival mode type of energy, which is very dominant, especially in inner cities, if you're from an inner city. But that mindset is kind of cultivated, and it runs through our lineage, and it can become a way of like viewing things or seeing ourselves. It's like a globe or a cap around our financial potential. So I feel like God has been rearranging things in your mind and your spirit that has opened you up to pretty much breaking through some kind of financial bracket that you've been held to. So if you just kind of felt like things were stagnant, even if you're doing things differently, it just does not seem like your income stream is matching that, or it's not flowing the way that you expected it to. Just hold on, it's coming for you. And the things that you're being guided to do, just keep doing it. It's not about a specific thing. It's not one size fits all. It's a mindset. That's what God is creating within you. You can tell your mindset is changing. So maybe what you're living, even what you have currently, could be even less. Even your bills could be less or more, but there's something that you're doing better now than you did before, and it's about to get even better. But with the skills that you got from when the finances were not better, the skills that you got during that time period, they're really going to serve you. So you're going to make the best of this new revenue stream that I feel is coming in for you. There is literally it's global. I feel it's in the United States. We always had to do like at the end of the fiscal year is where you break down. Yeah, I think even the plants, they get those payouts. But like I worked in healthcare, and at the end of the fiscal year, which I believe was September, it was like the end of September, somewhere between September, like the 28th to October 31st, there's a breakdown, and there's these overages, things, they're balancing out their checkbooks and things like that. So some of you could have money coming in from somewhere you didn't even know was coming towards you, but it's because of a breakdown in a corporation, or some kind of corporation that you're connected to. So you have money coming in, unexpected income. That's what I just heard, unexpected income. So maybe it's to prepare you for that, or that's just part of the wave that's coming through. Okay, let's keep going. We see you, God. What you doing? Black sheep, rebelling, going against expectations, defying norms. There's somebody, maybe not for everybody, but you defy what you thought God wanted you to do. This is like you literally feeling you had to go through the dark night of the soul because you did something that you were always taught. We're taught about God through the eyes of other people in our lives. But that's why you have to get to know God individually. Because people always spin their opinions into things. Even this is filtered through a human body, through my human experiences. I'm just one person. So a lot of us, that's how we learn God. We learn God through a certain mindset, a certain mindset, a certain denomination, a certain indoctrination. Okay, it's opinion. It's a certain way of seeing things. Okay, it's very specific. So I feel like your mind has been opening, but you had to go through a dark night of the soul because you made a choice that you felt actually went against what God truly would want from you or will require you to do. But the dark night of the soul was meant for you to find you. I feel like that was getting that too. Like God had to like bitch slap you. It was like, have you ever seen Boss Baby, where the older brother, he like forgets who he is, and Boss Baby keeps smacking him. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Till finally he's like, I'm Ted Templeton or whatever. So it's like that. Where God just, it felt as if life might have been slapping you in the face. Or God must be mad at you and slapping at you in your face because life is not working out for you the way that it typically does. Especially when you call yourself being aligned to God, considering God, giving praise to God, being thankful for God every single day. It's like, okay, well, what is this issue? How do I keep running into these issues? Why is life not realigning for me, the way it typically does when I'm in my full appreciation of God and seeing God in my life? And I think that's what it was. It was for you to decide that something was right. Why? Because your personal relationship with God, that's what opened you up to it. It's also what gave you the mindset to be able to clarify it for yourself. But you were battling with other human beings. You were battling with other human beings. They can't see what you see. They ain't been where you been. They don't know what you know. And they weren't in it. They were not shooting in the gym with you and God. It was just you and him. They don't know. They do not know. They do not know. So, and a lot of you were listening to people that you know for sure. They don't even know your father like you know him. You don't know your father like you know him. Because you can hear it in their conversations. You can see it in their lives. You don't know God like I know him. I'm sorry that you don't. And I can't make you. But I'm not going to listen to you either. No, thank you. And I don't care if that was somebody literally yelling it in your face, pointing their finger, or if this was just in your mind. Sometimes we carry what people have said for lifetimes because there's some version of it that may ring true, but God is trying to tell you how that specifically applies to you and your very specific life. Okay? He know all the hairs on your head. I feel like that's the meaning of that scripture. I feel like we just got it just this moment. That God already has numbered. He knows how many hairs are on each individual's head, how many hair follicles you have. It's different for everybody. It's like a fingerprint. Nobody has exactly the same. But if he knows that, that's why everything is that specific. You could be 3 hair follicles off from that being wrong for you. You could be 2 follicles off for that being the right choice for you. Let God open up them 2 follicles and see what you do. You see what I'm saying? Like, anyway, that's just what I'm getting. What you say, Tiff? I was just told yesterday that there is no God and no one hears God. They're only hearing themselves. Irritated my whole being. Yes, because this is all they hear. This is all they hear. They feel, a lot of people who talk like that, they come from devil energy, where they have never felt this upliftment or this belief in something that they can't even conjure up the belief. And the reason could be because they were constantly asking for God's help, or they tested God in some way, but they did not do the work. They did not take the action when God told them to take action, when God told them to speak up, when God told them to move, when God told them to do. They didn't listen to that. They were too busy listening to fear, too busy listening to doubt, too busy listening to what happened before. Too busy listening to everything else except God's voice and taking the action, because faith without the works is dead, which is why the faith corrodes. So they don't believe because they never got any energy to either take the action, to make the moves, or to be in receiving mode, because that's a whole nother situation that you have to get through, where you have to heal and you have to accept and you have to be aware, but you also have to be receptive and open enough to receive the gifts from God. It's not for everybody. It really isn't. Like I said, it's okay. Some people choose to only believe in what they can see. Your family, your friends, the people you meet on the street, whatever. I get it. But for some, they need more, because there are time periods where every single person in their life are disappointing. They're not there. They can't care. Not saying they don't want to care, but they can't even afford to. So the only person was something that you could not see, like the air that we fucking breathe. It was God. And so for you, because your belief is that strong and because you cling to God and you do what God tells you to do, it's the same thing with your mother and your father physically. You do what they tell you to do, they love you, and usually it's going to work out the way that it always does. Same thing with God. Same thing with God. Something else that you said, though. They're only hearing themselves, yeah. Peace. You would be surprised by how many people have not experienced peace. Like the true peace where their mind shuts off. So that's where you receive a flow of information that there are no pauses in. There is no question to. It's literally what can pick you up from underneath the ground. You could be 6 feet under mentally and emotionally. And it will literally wrap you up in a cocoon, put you back on your feet, and ignite your wings so that you can move. Those are miracles. Those are miracles. And there are select few. Maybe 144,000. I don't know if that's all. That truly have seen and lived the hand of God in their life. They know, because that's where they've got this immortal soul from. They've been resurrected. This world killed them off. The only thing they didn't do was take the physical action that the world would push you to take yourself out of here. But mentally and emotionally, you experienced a vibrational death that many would never even humble themselves or sacrifice themselves to do it. That's why the protection of the mind is so important, because that's the way that God reignites us. The heart is very self-sacrificing. It's what causes us to sacrifice ourselves. That's why Jesus sacrificed his life, because his heart was filled with the woes and the things that he had seen in human beings, his human experience, what he experienced with human beings, the betrayal, all of it, the lies, all of it. That's where that sacrificial energy comes from, self-sacrificing. I would rather just take myself out than to become that. I would rather just take myself out than to live that. There has to be a better way. There has to be something better. I can't live like this. I won't live like this. You could take yourself out of there. But God that protects your mind brings you back, and brings you back in greater clarity. You always bounce back 10 times better than you were before. For others, it's still, they don't believe it. They think that it's something that you're hiding. You got some secret formula, some secret whatever. That's why they say, oh, there's, you guys are, I don't know what that is, but it's something ain't right. Or you must be, I don't know, you must give all your money to that church, or you must be selling your soul to the devil, or you must be something, because something is right in their life, because they're happy, because it's genuine, because they have peace. Because things are working out the way that they're supposed to. Did you think that you were created just to live in misery? Like, that's it? 11:44 on the clock. Yeah, some of us, no. No, I didn't come here for that. Ain't no way. And we will sit on the ground until God show me. You're going to have to show me. You want me to keep going? You want me to, what? You're going to have to show me, God. I'm going to have to see something here. And won't he show you? Sometimes we learn to just go ahead and know the truth. Bank Bill say amen. Yeah, sometimes we just go ahead and accept the truth instead of keep on testing God. Because for those of you that really see the hand of God, sometimes he hit you so hard, you be like, oh shit. I'm sorry. I'll never doubt you again. And other times it could be so beautiful but so scary, because it's like, oh my God, this is crazy. I can't even tell nobody this. I can't even express this to nobody. There's nobody to tell. Oh my God, you just blew my mind. Now I'm questioning my reality. I'm good on that. Thank you. You answered my question, God, but as far as what am I supposed to do with this? I'm out of my mind. Let's see. They pick and choose when they believe there's a God, and when there isn't. There's a double-minded person. And it also could be depending on what they believe God to be. There's a lot of people think they're worshiping God and they're worshiping money or sex. Hold on 1 second. Yes, Liam, give me a second. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, I was and look. Okay. Yeah, I was and look. Lust was on the bottom of the deck as I was saying that. Because it's not necessarily sex, but lust. Lust. They're feeding off of the lust that is in the air, just like love is in the air, lust is in the air, money is in the air. You could worship these individual things, whereas God is the creator of all things. So there are people who think they're worshiping God, but they're just worshiping one vision or version of God, which is really God split into all of these different entities and pretty much controlled and dominated by all of these different theories and psychologies and religions. So they've taken mastery. They've monopolized off of these different aspects of God's personality. God is multifaceted. You might as well say God has split personalities. So all of these things they have monopolized on him. So people can say that they're worshiping God, but really what they've been conditioned to do is worship these separate entities. I could talk about that all day. We got religions that, yes, it is an aspect of God. Healthy fear of things is what keeps you safe. It's what keeps you in your physical body. It's what allows you to do the things that other people can't do, to take these leaps of faith, to take chances in life. They say if you never take a chance, you never win big. Well, people who conquer fear are able to do that. People who have a healthy fear don't do it to their own detriment. But fear can also be monopolized and be turned into a god. The whole time you think you're feeding on God, you're really feeding on fear. You're keeping yourself suppressed. You're keeping yourself from moving toward things, doing things. For a long time, I would not do my makeup, or even I felt bad when I did it because I just thought for a second, I didn't know what I was feeding on, but it's some guy that don't believe that a little rouge. And I'm like, well, that's not my God, because the Bible, yes, because the Bible also does talk about a lot of these different, there's a lot of different religions that use the Bible, because all of those aspects of God are in the Bible, but they separate it, they take out pieces. Even some of these religions that don't believe in the Bible, you'll notice that some of their transcripts are pretty much the same story with different names. All right, let's see. Oh, we got a snack. So yeah, see, there's something else here. That's what I was gonna say. A lot of you may have learned how to groom yourself, how to take care of yourself, how to put your best foot forward, because you were raised that you were not just a representation of yourself, of your family. Because what if you don't like yourself today? What if you don't care about your family? But that you were representing your God. So you put your best foot forward because you are representing the God that lives within you. But a lot of people may view you as somebody who, oh, well, you just get pretty privileged, or, oh, girls will just do anything for you because you look good, because you smell good, because you do this, because you do that. Maybe. But it's the God in you that caused you to be that type of person. You're a provider for your family because you believe in a God that told you to do that. Because the God that provides for you told you that if you try to do what he does, if you're going to have children like he has, if you're going to populate the earth the way that he has, you're going to have to do what God does. But I feel like for some of you, they didn't want to believe that it had anything to do with God. No, it's just because you're cute. It's just because you know how to dress. It's just because, I don't know, your skin color. It's just because your hair is long. It's just because you know how to do makeup. It's just because you got a good job. It's just because you got money. It's just because of this. No, it's never because of God. It's because of every other thing. So a lot of this has been what people have been holding on to you. People have been saying these things, which means that every time you hit the ground, you have to work through or work out or defeat all of these different mindsets and thought waves and thought patterns that are existing around you on the subject of you. Because people doubt you. When people doubt God and God lives in you, People doubt you often, meaning they test you often. They put you to the test often, even if they don't want to. It's just the way that they're naturally called to move because they just don't believe it. So there's a lot of things, though, that I feel no longer an issue. That's why we have, they can't find any evidence. Evidence is in reverse. They said it was because of this. They said it was because of that. They said, it had to be this. It had to be that. Where are your facts? Where is your proof? You have nothing. The lies that these people are feeding on are the same as the truth that you're feeding on. You can't see either one of them. The proof is in the pudding, and I feel like you're eating it. That's what I'm saying. Like, where you said God baked you a cake. Where is it? I'm eating it. I'm eating it. Nobody knows your personal relationship with God. Nobody knows your true desires and goals. Where is your proof? Where is your evidence? Where is yours? Where is yours? If you're feeding on a different God and that God is better to you, where's your proof? That's what I feel that people are failing. They don't have that. Look, penny pinching. This is on a whole nother level when it comes to spirituality. They have no stories. They have no testimonies. They have no proof of how God has worked for them or worked in their life. They can't talk about it at all. They don't know. Even if it's not God, if they got something else that works for them, well, where is your proof? How has that worked out for you? You seem angry, you seem sad, you seem scared, you seem anxious, you seem mad, you seem rageful, you seem confused, you seem stressed all the time. Where is your proof that it's working for you? Proof is in the pudding. And if it's your pudding that God served you, you're eating it. You are it. They see the proof. Bonnie and Clyde in reverse. Yeah, this is you separating and detaching from certain people in your life because of just that. A lot of these people, they really rolling with the ops. They rolling with the cops. They're trying to disprove the love of God that you've been feeding off of your whole entire life. That got you where you are. They tried to call it all these other things so that you would question your God. You were already prepared for this. What is this now? The story of Job? Everybody in their life, even his own wife, turned against him. Called him crazy. Stupid. Blind. Where is this God now? He like in my heart. Which is why I'm literally sitting out here on the fucking street, depleted, tired, literally looking a hot ass mess, and yet I'm blessed. I feel blessed. I feel more blessed than you. Because his wife, what did she do? Spit in his face, tell him to curse God and die? Bitch, I feel better than you. So let me know. What should I do? Because I'm feeling real good right now. That's the only way that he attracted 10 times what he lost. He attracted 10 times what he lost. Law of attraction. Might as well throw that in the Bible too. It comes out of it. Because you get what you give. You attract what you are. He was going through some things. He was going through some issues. He was having to dismantle things in his mind. So his life showed that. It showed the dismantling of an illusion of who he used to be, of the way that things used to be. But there was a whole new mindset, a whole new heart, and a whole new earth. Because it did not need that woman that told him to curse God and die. She had to go. That was just one thing. And when he was blessed in excess. He attracted what he was. Because the whole time the world couldn't see shit. He looked like shit. What God are you talking about? The same God that made him feel blessed while he was a hot ass mess on the fucking street with nothing is the same God that blessed him with everything in excess. So you may have individuals here that have, again, I don't know, they were rolling with the ops. they were rolling with the ops, because mostly all they've been trying to do this entire time was try to put something on you that they don't have no evidence. Trying to get you to feel something that you're not meant to feel, you're not meant to deal with. Trying to keep you in some space that you were never meant to occupy. So you're enjoying the fruitage of life, even if it hasn't manifested in a way that other people can feel it and see it, because it wasn't meant for them. It was meant for you. I don't know whose message keep getting held for review, but ha ha ha, you can't get shit in. YouTube won't let you say nothing. You are being blocked. You are being silenced. Ooh, so there's somebody in your life that wanted to be seen as right so bad. They really wanted to distract you. They couldn't. They could not distract you. They couldn't get to you. I don't know whose message is being. Let me see. I want to see what the message is. Yeah, I can't see what they're saying. It wasn't meant to be seen. Okay, let's go. Some of these individuals, they're going to change over. You could have made a believer out of certain people, or helped people to believe all over again. And so a lot of these people, it won't be seen by you. You were never meant to see them go through that time period where they were not trusting in the God in you. Because how could you see God if you were so busy looking at people who tell you there is not one? All right, let's see. God, what you been doing? Everything. Look, it's the same people that give you the penny pension. People who never wanted to give you what they knew that you deserve. They were always trying to see. For a lot of you, you may speak about being godly, or you just carry yourself with class. You know, class and godliness. Class is something you can imitate. Class is something you can look up on YouTube to figure out how to look like it and how to do it. But embodying it is a whole nother thing. That's godly. That's just natural. Christ had class, and he didn't even fucking have shoes on his feet or a place to lay his head. Like, he didn't even have a steady roof. Class. Ooh, I could just preach a little sermon, because there's so many things. A lot of things that we are worshiping, because a lot of people, they don't worship, God or anything, but they do worship idols. They worship iconic individuals, people. Hollywood, TV, movies, maybe even just, I don't know, people like you and me that open up their TikToks and go live. Okay, they're worshiping. But honestly, the majority of them that they're worshiping so much, it's not, For some of them, it's just godly. Their authenticity is godly. For some of them, they're showing something that looks like class when really it's just glorified trash. But we love it. We love it. Why? Because it's all the grit of life. It's life. We just like life. We like life that looks fancy. We like life that looks luxurious. We like life that looks like money. We like life that is funny. We like life that is sexy. We like life that grabs attention. These people are just imitating facets of God, tapping into their God space and creating from that space of authenticity. The shiniest thing on a person is when they do not care what you think. That's the diamond. Those are diamonds. So you don't have to have like a physical rock that's been shined up that cost a whole lot of money to look like money. You could literally be the diamond that moved through the fire, and your authenticity is that pristine. You're shining just like that. People can't keep their eyes off of you because of that. A lot of these people, there's people that they think they worshiping you. They just worshiping the God in you, which is why they're going to find another and another. You can find God in a whole lot of different people, but you really need to find God in yourself. Now, these individuals, they can't find God in themselves. They ain't seen God in none of the people around them because they're only attracting people like what's going on in their inside. So they don't have any reason to believe in God in their life. They think you're a phony, you're a fake, a farce. Yeah, it says, peace, be still. They're looking for a way in. That's all. A lot of these individuals that say, you know, oh, they don't believe or whatever, you're not a good person, or you don't really love people, or you don't really care, you're this, you're that. Again, those who ain't got shit to show for anything that they've been saying about you negative, they're the very ones that know exactly what it feels like to be connected to you. They see the difference in their life. They see the difference in their mood. They see the difference in the way they think. They see the difference in the air they breathe. They see the difference in how much momentum and energy they have. They see a difference in every single aspect of life, even if it's just in the moment. It's a bee right now trying to get in this window. There are people who literally feel royalty. Kings, queens, they even start to behave a little more classy in your energy, with a little more taste, with a little more grace, with a little more mercy. They seem to be a little more relaxed, a little more optimistic, a little more chill. All of these qualities that God makes real in human beings. And they know that they are able to easily exhibit those qualities when they're in your energy. But because you will not connect with them, because when you do, they get in there, but then they're all trying to figure out, yeah, okay, this is why you feel like this. No, this must be why. And all of that venom, all of those lies, it doesn't do anything but tear down. It corrodes at your faith. So you stop letting them in. You stop letting them in your mind. You stop letting them in your heart, even if they're still around you physically. They can't get close to you because it's that snake and you don't want to eat that anymore. It's venomous. So they're attacking you to get in. This is what they want you to do. They want you to focus on what's going wrong. You know what I see right here at the center? This is you. So maybe whoever you are, life is not all bad. You for sure are tasting the goodness of life and you know that it's only getting better. Even if it does feel like something is going on here where you kind of feel stuck, that's how I'm seeing her. Like her head is on the plate. Feels like people are feeding off of you. It may even feel like more people are benefiting off of you than you are even benefiting off of yourself in certain aspects of life. But you're getting just enough. It's like almost God breadcrumbing you is what you feel like. But really, this is resistance. You're not quite letting in because God will give you a downpour till you can't take no more. So it's us. We control the levee. We tighten the grip. We close our fists. We close our hands because we're mad, because we're stressed, because we're tired, because we're scared, because we're still fighting this good fight, trying to get out of the darkness into this light where we know that life is this colorful and beautiful, where we let our colors burst, where we let life be good, where we let the earth serve us. We let people be good to us. We let good things in. We're too busy fighting these people who ain't got proof of shit. They haven't. Just listen to it for a second. Spend time with yourself in your mind. Listen to what the fuck they have to say. And really weigh it up against the truth. Where are their receipts? I'm telling you that God will give you more proof of your goodness than they could ever give you of your worthlessness, of you not being right or not doing right. This time period. This is always when it comes in. Those dark night of the souls, that's emotional blindness pretty much. Because what we're feeling currently, it feels so bad that we can't see the light, and it's easy for us to believe that the light was never there and is not coming back because that's all that's in our ear. Or when our money fucks up, or something physical goes wrong, or we can't get what we want physically. Those are time periods where these demons get to talking. And that just means you got to get up and start walking. Because God is up high. So if you are hearing lies, it's because you're on the ground. If everything you're hearing doesn't sound good and you can't see God in it, you're on the ground. Don't listen to shit. Get moving now. Get moving. There is always a way out. And for a lot of you, you're already tasting it or getting a little bit of it. Eat more. Whatever is pouring life into you, whatever is pouring light into you, whatever is giving you something to good. So, too many people feasting on fucking news all the goddamn time. That's good that you know about every shooting and you know about every murder and you are so well prepared for the life that you never intend to live. But what about the life you do want to live? What about the life you do intend to live? Where are you feeding on that knowledge? Where are you getting that information? Where are those people? That's what you need to be feeding on. What makes what's true to you truer, realer, righter, brighter, better. We just keep on dancing with the dead and then whatever they say goes. So a lot of us have been in holes that we never knew. We didn't even dig ourselves into these holes. No, they were in there and they were like, oh yeah, come in here. Everything's cool. No, it's not. No, everything ain't cool. It ain't cool till you have peace. It ain't cool till you see God. And it ain't cool till you release, because learning the truth sets you free, but first it makes you angry. You got to release the angriness first. And then let that thirst for the truth come back to you. That's when you want to eat. That's when you want to feed. That's when you want to drink in excess. And I'm talking spiritually, but sometimes it happens for you physically. So pay attention to your appetite as well. I'm not saying you got to be greedy all the time, but the time periods where you don't have an appetite or when you feel, a lot of times, sometimes it is because you need to fast, because you've been inhaling or eating too many toxins and God can't reach you or nothing. So you don't need to eat anything. You kind of need to get to that place where you're like a blank slate. But there are other times when we can't even pull up the desire to taste anything because what we've tasted for so long was not good. You need a detox. That's water. You need to drink your water physically, and you need to drink your water emotionally. You need to lay the fuck down. You need to sit the fuck down. Because the devil, the demons, these people, the negativity, the pessimism, you can call it whatever you want to. The grounders, they're draining you. They're draining you. You don't have an appetite for good food. You don't have an appetite for good anything. You're afraid to have an appetite because you're afraid that your food won't be right, that what you ordered won't be right, that you won't get what you want. That's fear. You're caught. The devil's got your ankle. You got to hit that devil in the head. You know how you hit a devil in his head, a zombie in his head, the Walking Dead in his head? How do you do it? With the sword, maybe. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. And sometimes when you're supposed to, you'll have the mind to. But if you don't have the mind to, if your sword is not in your hand, it's peace. It's peace. You can choose peace. There's people with a whole lot of money and they still ain't got no fucking peace. There are people poor on the street and they have peace. And they smile and they're happy. Peace is priceless. All right, so you got people who still think you're in this dark hole, or they still feel like you're penny pinching. They don't think that you are quite in this energy where you're actually becoming kind of obsessed with your mindset now. I said God's been clearing your mind out, getting a lot of this clutter out of the way. So you're kind of like obsessed with what so you know somebody, Tiffany, okay, you said people are saying like, yeah, you ain't talking to God, that ain't God, you just talking to yourself. Or you ain't talking to demons. You know how they always give us the demon on one shoulder and an angel on the other? They be like, yeah, no, that's just you going back and forth with yourself. Okay. Even if so, I feel like you're getting that devil off your shoulder. And you're only talking to that angel. Because you're always going to know what's going on the ground. You always are going to know what the worst case scenario or, what your worst fear could be. That positivity, that light, that's really what the earthliness, the worldliness, that's what it kind of blots out a lot of times. So letting that in, I feel like you've been letting that in. You've been letting it in your mind. So now, yeah, you may not even be listening to God as much as you used to. You may not be listening to demons. You're just listening to yourself because God has cleared your mind out so much and gave you such clarity of vision to be able to see through the negative devil, the positive angel. That you know where you stand on all of these things. So now you're not obsessed with what God is thinking or what the devil is thinking or what your mom is thinking or your dad is thinking or your auntie or your uncle or that guy or this girl or whatever. This whole entire world, you are obsessed with what you are thinking. You're obsessed with how you feel. So you're desiring more of your authenticity. You're starting to see the ways in which God has been colored to suppress your authenticity, to suppress your sovereignty, to suppress your divinity. How dare you stand up in your divine right and feel that you deserve a good life? Now, that really does sound like some kind of socialite racism. They're doing the same thing on a spiritual level. So they're stuck and confused because there's something that they can't see about you, but your energy is still coming up as pure and like something to be seen. They're still feeling obsessed with you or wanting to see you or connect with you or be around you, and they're confused because they don't understand why. They're looking. But these eyes, these are evil eyes. These are evil eyes. Ooh, they looking. Okay, you got people lurking. They're lurking. Prowling around your energy. What are they looking for? What are they looking for? War? Not war, because war don't live here anymore. You're at peace. What are they looking for? What are they looking for? The devil? They couldn't be looking for the devil because they're confused, and the devil is the author of confusion. So either, they are the devil, they're with the devil, they work for the devil. They're not looking for that. They couldn't possibly be looking for God in you, could they? Looking for God in you, looking for evidence of how you made it through, looking for evidence of how you saw the light, looking for evidence of how things are going right for you, looking for evidence. Because the evidence that they were looking for originally, I think they were looking for the devil, but they probably got such a reflection from you that all they could see was the devil in themselves. They had to own up to their own truth. Okay, so they couldn't find the devil. But they're also not seeing God. What they're used to, okay, here we go. You used to give yourself just a little bit. You would sit in your good energy, your peace. You would only sit in it for just a moment before you went out and squandered it with all of these people who didn't believe that you had it or could get it in the first place. So you were proving yourself. They come in to test you to see if you really are who you say you are, and then you would keep standing up to the test and blessing or giving or doing or being. You were being God in people's life. That's what you were doing. They would poke you, they would trigger you, they would talk about you, they would guilt trip you, gaslight you. Warfare to get you to open up and bless them with this God that keeps blessing you, that they don't believe in, but you do. But either way, they don't care how you get it or how you do it or how it works for you. They just want some. And you were giving it to them. But now you're not doing that. So they're like, oh, well, then you must not have it then, right? You can't be in the light then. Things aren't right because you're not blessing me, right? Okay. Yeah, they don't know. And they feel blocked. They've been lying to family and friends about you, trying to save face. And now they're stuck in fear. Okay, because the devil is on their ass now. They owe them. They owe their soul. They done sold their soul to devils. Trying to make a list on you. These devils are like, okay, well, where's the truth? I'm waiting to see. Show me. But they don't have anything to show. No receipts. And if this was someone trying to convince them of another way of doing things, trying to, say, I don't know, your way versus their way, or maybe this is like very particular, has to do with a person, trying to turn your attention from this person to that person, choosing sides, something like that. We've got penny pinching, struggling. They don't have whatever they're trying to say that you can't do or you aren't doing, they can't do it. They aren't doing it. What's their reason? Maybe these are other religion. Like, these could be other, let's say, spiritual people. Okay. So then, what's your God gonna do? I don't know who these people are, but you have people around you who benefit from y'all proving your godliness or something. You've been proving that you believe in God. You know that's not a requirement for God to bless you, right? Because God could do it in anybody's life. They're the ones not doing the work. You're not obligated. You're not obligated to prove to other people that God is real. Your job is to prove it to yourself and to prove it to your offspring, because you brought them here to live paradisic experiences. You brought them here so that you could help them to learn how to create their own little heaven on earth. Because that's our real home. So when earth gets hellish, and it will, you have to be able to bring heaven down on earth. And you teach your children how to do that too. That's work. Were you working for these people for free to prove to them something that they don't believe? Waste of time. Waste of time. But something is still being seen about you. Also, with this Bonnie and Clyde in reverse, there's some kind of separation or division that's already happening. And people that, whoever this person is here that's confused, they don't know what to do because they don't know you. God is almost making you unrecognizable. I think because the mask is coming off. You were less of yourself or more of yourself. You were peace, God, harmony, symmetry with who you really are, your divinity, your sovereignty, the God that lives within you. All of your woes and sins, that devil energy too, is always somewhere in the middle. But throughout life, you've been giving people, maybe you've been overcompensating, okay, to be right, to be seen right, to be accepted, to be loved, people pleasing, or you were way low at the end of the vibrational scale where you were being stubborn and rigid and I don't care and I'm cold and I'm mean and whatever. You were doing all those things to prove to people that they could not abuse you or victimize you or turn you into a victim or use you or any of that shit anymore. You were on the floor. But now, so those were masks that you were wearing. Mask up here. Mask down here. You've already proven yourself. Up here, you shine. Down here, you reign, you rule. Here, in the center, is your truth. So God is removing the mask off of you, where now you can walk through and be your truth up here. I don't got to do no extra shit to be who the fuck I am and to know what the fuck I know. And to be blessed and not be stressed. I don't have to prove a goddamn thing. Say, who the fuck are you? Down here, I don't have to be angry, but it is what the fuck it is. I don't have to be mad, but it is what the fuck it is. I don't have to shed a fucking tear. I don't have to run my mascara, but it is what the fuck it is. Mask off. They worship money. They worship body. They worship sex. They worship clout. Still don't know what clout is about, but they worship these things. What's up, one who possessed? Okay, clock it. He said, clock it. Facts. Miss Tiff said this. Because, period. Y'all worship what you do not know. And we recognize what you worship because it is pleasurable, desired. Oh, how fun it is to acquire it, to attract it, to let it in. It just gives life value. And for some people, that's all they have, so it gives them value. But for you, it's just one aspect of the God that is all of it, that created all of it, that lives in you. So it's like, thank you. I see that. I like that. I want that. I desire that. I'm appreciative of that. But sell my soul? Are you like, what are you? Brain dead? All right, let's see. Peace be still. They're looking for a way in. Give me 1 second. Let me check something. It's 12:22, 222 on the clock. Let me check something right now. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, all is well. Just checking. All is well. Gotta keep talking to God here. Gotta keep talking to God. All right, let's see. Let's get into tarot, y'all. We ain't even got no tarot cards yet, but I missed y'all. We've been out here for almost, it's been an hour. Been out here for an hour, but my son is having fun, and I feel like the reading is blessed, so let's just get a little bit more. This is really not one of those reads that I tend to watch back unless I just like need it. Like I'll probably wait till I'm having a day where I don't, realize this and recognize this, and I'll watch the playback. But when I'm in it though, I just like to go in. I like to give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. All right, what's going on? Spirit, give us all. Okay, God, because we see you. What else has God brought us through? Abuse of generosity. Okay. Somebody's been so generous to the point that they are now in debt. Fake. Okay. Someone got you. Someone got you here. Fake charity. They did something for you, but it was out of selfishness. It was really for them. And you may have made some poor financial decisions to keep up with them, or to pretty much be able to be as generous as you thought that they were being to you, or something like that. What do you need to know about this energy? The Six of Pentacles. Oh yeah, don't let anybody take advantage of you. If this is a situation where you know good and damn well this person isn't giving back to you, and I mean, a lot of times you do stuff and you do it generously from your heart, from your spirit. But there is another thing where people, it's their energy. Their energy can come towards you. And if you're not paying attention, you may end up selling your soul without knowing it. That energy wave will feel so good to you that you're about ready to do anything and everything this person wants you to do. But you got to ground yourself. You got to see what's really occurring. What are you really getting from this person in reality? Because otherwise it's like trickery and deceit, but it's not necessarily that person. It could be the entity that they carry. This person could be operating out of total selfishness, but there are a lot of parts of this individual that could reflect godliness. So it's almost like you are seeing a light in this person, but it's not the light that they're actually shining in your life currently. So you want to move with your feet on the ground. You want to move, you want to be steady in your steps. This is a situation where I feel like you feel this way. Okay, I'm not telling you that you're being taken advantage of by nobody that you don't feel like you are. This is a situation where somebody feels that way. They feel like, yeah, I give and I give, or I do, or I always show up, or whatever, but this person isn't that way with me. What I'm doing is not what I'm getting back from this situation. I feel like they're using me, or I feel unappreciated. Sometimes it's not about what somebody's giving back. It's just the fact that you don't even feel like they appreciate the sacrifice or the generosity that you are giving. Maybe for some individuals, you could be going in debt with somebody or doing something. I'm even getting like a masculine for his family. You're going in debt because for you it's worth it. You wanted to see that smile. You wanted to give that smile. You paid, you did what you could not do, because in that moment it felt good to you and you were willing to pay the cost or pay the extra price. You did not care because it was going to add value to your life, or it was adding value to someone that you value. But the thing about that appreciation, Tiff say, yep, and I'm done. I'm so done. Think about that appreciation, because I got the 7 of Pentacles. You still waiting. What do they need to know about this energy? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. Knight of Wands in reverse. Mostly this person operates in lust. So a lot of their energy is attaching. Yeah, this is the truth here. This is the truth. Oh, here it comes. This is what you need to hear. This is what you need to hear, what you need to see. And it could be the beginning of a conflict between you and them, because you're going to see them differently. And you may not like that, or they may not like that. But here's the truth. This person operates in a lustful energy. So when you connect with them, that's what you're getting. What they want, what they desire, what they're asking for. If you are a cooperative component and you want to do it, then you can do it. But this person is somebody who will not accept your blame or guilt or shame if you do it and then you regret it. They also will likely not ask for these things from you specifically, like outwardly, with their words. But it is what they feel that they desire and they deserve. And so they are open and receptive to people who want to match that, meet that, become that, do that. They move or operate through contracts. Okay. So this is probably a Freemason, or they have that in their lineage, in their ancestry. It's a way of living. It's a way of life. And typically it's a masculine energy. It's masculine dominated. So even if it's a female, she has a very strong masculine energy. And this is awareness. It's like God, Christ consciousness. It's like awareness of the God that lives within you. But moving as devils move, because this is the devil's world. So it's a whole, whoever this person is, they're like a walking, living contradiction. This would be Emperor or Empress energy. So the key is to see, because this is somebody who moves through contracts, okay? What you need to see is the same with any other thing that you are doing. Does it work for you? How does it work for you? So depending on this individual, there may be a lot of desires that you're going to feel, okay? Their energy alone will communicate to you. This is why you're likely drawn to this person, because you just know what to do. You know what they would like. You know how likely to please them. It's easy because their energy is that clear and pristine. However, the way that they do things is contractual. Likely the energy that you received and the way that you are moving also brings pleasure to you. So if you are satisfied by satisfying them, they don't owe you. So pay attention to that, because you already got paid. You could do something thinking this is going to mean this, or they're going to move like this, or they're going to shift like this, but for them it does not resonate that way. You got an energy wave, you like that wave, and you pay for that wave by doing whatever it is that they ask you to. Now, you could certainly get that energy and not pay, but it's going to trigger. Their demons will come for you. These people operate like devils. Mentally, it's hard to ride their energy without conforming or doing something in kind of like what do you call that? In recognition. This to our God we owe. These are these another level of people. Okay, just stay with me here. But these are people who truly do know their value and they do know their connection to source or God, but they do not move in the way that you have been taught that God's move. So that's what I want you to understand. It's going to be different. A lot of those characteristics though, honesty, charity, kindness, discipline, okay, good moral standards, character, those things could exist within this individual, but the way that they operate with you is like contractual. Let's see, Ace of Swords. Yeah, you have to make sound decisions with this person. Likely this is somebody that will already give you a breakthrough mentally, so that you are more conscious of your steps, what you do and don't do. Because the way that their energy moves with you is the way that any energy can move with you, and likely has been moving with you before you caught it, before you saw it and knew what to do. So they are of value to you just because they are enlightening you and awakening you to the way in which a world that we cannot see operates and moves. Okay? So they're like breaking the bank for you, really. Mentally, your third eye awakening. It's a high level. This person is a high level devil, and a lot of your mindset is pitted against them. But the light within them is so bright, and is likely the same light that you've been feeding on your whole entire life, especially if you come from Christianity or the Bible. That is the light that you've been feeding on your entire life. So you would want to sacrifice everything that you are and everything that you have for this person. You will want to put your best foot forward and be your best version of self for this person. But you have to pay attention to how this person moves with you. That will show you your value, and that will show you how to move. If you're reckless, you'll end up doing things that you regret. This person is not reckless. Even if it seems like they are not. They are very intentional in their steps. Lots of mental clarity. Pretty much the same energy of peace and love and light that you get into to listen to God is the same energy that this person operates in to listen to themselves. Okay, yeah, we have, okay, so you might be dealing with this person, but you may be stuck and confused yourself right now as to you're looking for this person to move or act or do something, and they're not doing it, so you feel powerless because your influence is masterful. You're meeting someone that triggers pretty much the God within you. So you would move like God would want you to. But when they don't do that, when you don't get that back, whereas that's what you get back everywhere else, because most people are so thankful for you to bring in that energy of God. It's like, oh my God, thank you for bringing this light into my life, and they're going to reflect it back to you. Just off the sheer appreciation, or maybe for some, they ain't had nobody come in their life and light things up like that in a long fucking time. So it's just like, oh my God, thank you. Right? When you come in this person's life and you shed the light, you're met with their light. So sometimes the light that they're in, it does not give to you what you expect that you're due. And I'm getting that it's making you feel powerless or unproductive. Like this is not worth it. It could even trap you. This is the Eight of Swords. It could trap you, have you confused about yourself. Victim mentality, make you feel like a victim or like you've been victimized by this individual. You could be trapped in your mind trying to understand, is this person like literally trying to attack me or be bad to me? How is this happening? You feel restricted. You may feel helpless. Okay, and you, for some of you too, you feel trapped in this. Okay, this is to end this part of you. That's not your truth. It's not your truth. That's what I was talking about, the people pleasing. They may initiate your light, but it's too bright. So they're helping you to get rid of a mask in your life. And for people who come from religious backgrounds, that's the hardest mask for you to take off, because it's the one that you've been taught is the only right one. It's like either you're down here or you're up here. So the goal is always to be up there, but you're bypassing your actual truth, which is somewhere in the center. So whoever this person is, they're meant to be the end to that. We got the death energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, so now you're getting ready to give this person the truth, the cold hard facts. You may have given them what you felt that they were given to you, because like I said, they pretty much stay in devil energy, but they operate, you might as well say they operate like in godliness, and devil energy is very unsettling. Because their actions do not speak to, it's not the typical behavior of someone who would feel that they are spiritual or connected. Like, you're like, yeah, but you can't do that. Or no, it makes you want to judge and point your finger. But it's also hard to really pinpoint them on anything. And yeah, they're doing what you're being trained to do. So this person is a master over something that you're being initiated into. You're learning to move like them, because that's the way that you survive and thrive in life. Survival is getting out of the devil energy, surviving the devil energy, and keeping your heart intact. Thriving is when we really let our wings fly. We spread our wings. We start to do the things that we just been thinking about and the things that we want to do, but we actually start living in it, breathing it, being it, showing up, showing out. But that center energy is where you are not just being, but you're creating too. So they're already there. And I feel like whoever this person is, the way that they're behaving with you, your connection, your interaction is initiating you. You might as well call them a sensei, but I don't know how good or bad it feels. But for you, the benefits are immeasurable. That's what I want to say. The you that is creating and bringing out of you is immeasurable. You're becoming their equal. Now, for some, it could be because this is supposed to be your kingdom partner. This is supposed to be your, you're supposed to have a life together. Your destiny. Soulmates. That's where all those terminologies, soulmates, twin flames, high spiritual level counterpart, all of those things. Even if it's not romantic, your kindred spirit, your soulmate, all of that. Soul tribe, your people, your tribe. That's why they're in your life. But they're going to take you to that level where they're your equal. So if this is a connection and it does feel good to you, it's soothing, it's a relief. If it's like that, then you are being prepared for either this person or someone in that same bracket. Like it moves like a brotherhood or a sisterhood. So you are just being prepared by your person, by their brother, by their sister. Like you're being prepared for this person. And if it doesn't feel good, you said, hold on, mister, I'm over that now. He can be there. If you don't, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. If it doesn't feel good to you, then this is the end of who this person brought out of you. But because of that, it's almost like you're eating them and becoming them. So you'll never be susceptible. You will be susceptible to this kind. You would always, when you try to battle with this person, you would always end up finding yourself at the lower end of the spectrum. Okay? You're on the receiving end of the stick, but it's always bullshit. That won't happen to you again. Not with them, not with anyone. So it's like you dance with the devil, but you're going to win. Okay? So it's like that. You won't, even if you connect with someone like this again, you are their equal. So the things that whoever this person is, even if they weren't well-meaning, Okay, if they were manipulative on purpose, if they took advantage on purpose, if they knew that you were doing things that you didn't really want to do, or you were doing what they wanted you to do, and they knew they never intended to fulfill you in that way, even if they were wrong, because I'm getting you couldn't prove it if you wanted to, so it's no sense in trying to. But if that was their truth, the ending result is still that this person is of more value to you than they were like of detriment, because who you're becoming, you will never be susceptible to that again. And that's not just in a person or an individual, that's in a corporation. This extends to all of life. Corporations, entities, jobs, contracts. You see what I'm saying? It's an energy, it's a way of moving, and that energy, that entity, it dominates our reality. So it's everywhere, but you're conquering that. You're conquering it within you, and you're leveling up because of that. So your life is going to get better. That's just what I want to say. Some of us, we learn the hard way, but usually our blessings are greater, or they're in quicker quantity. Like, we're constantly experiencing these level ups and these harvest seasons. The more work you do, the more you have to reap. So this was work. Whoever this person is, whether it's good or whether or not, it's work, and you will reap a harvest. Whether that's in the next person, another opportunity, another job, another situation, or this person in particular. Because like I said, your brothers and sisters are grooming you. Your brothers and sisters are grooming them. It's like life. In the spiritual sense, it's life. The tribes that you are connecting with is leveling you up. All right, 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Someone could have just lost a job or lost some kind of, I don't know, income. It looks like they're resolving it though, or this is the way God is moving things for you. It's an easy solution. Compromise, resolving a dispute, cooperation, tension, release, peace, avoiding the conflict, and solutions. Yeah, someone could have lost an opportunity, lost a job, or something they were working on didn't, fall through. Something isn't going the way that they expected it to. But you're being very easy about it. You're being very easy about it. And you could have reason to, like, have a grievance or to dispute this or to push against this or fight this, but I feel like you don't need to. I feel like part of you feels that life is cooperating with you. Likely this is kind of what you asked for or what you needed. And because of your vision or the way that you're seeing this, you're avoiding the conflict that would usually come from it, which is mostly stirred up because we are unsure of if this is of value or if something bad is happening. And I'm getting that because you are not getting so like consumed by the problem, you're actually allowing the solution in just like that. So there's something here that is working out so easy, so simple. And it's because you're not holding on to the problem. Also getting out of your feelings. Emotional disconnect, I feel. Yeah, because this is whatever this is, I feel like you lost something. So anytime we lose something, we go into a grieving space. But you're kind of like, I want to say you're speeding through it, but it doesn't feel like it's rushed. It just feels like you're letting go. Because this isn't a disappointment, and it could affect you emotionally, but you're using self-discipline so that it doesn't. So you're staying you're like ending your relationship or connection with depression. And for some of you, that's what I just talked about. That person also has helped you with this too. Somebody can push you in your feelings so many times that it's like, okay, look, I know this is the time that I'm supposed to drown. I just don't feel like it no more. I already know what's down there. I already know what you did. I already know how you are. And I'm not going there no more. And now that you can do that with them, you can do it with anybody. Sometimes you need something that will push you to make a stand for yourself. And it has to be somebody that you cannot quite... Because when you know that you're right and you know that they're wrong, that's the fight. That's the conflict, okay, with the Ace of Swords. But what this person is doing, it's like your father. I don't even want to say mother. It's like a father. Because that's the way, yeah, that's what you respect. It's the way your heavenly Father deals with you. They may say God may do things a certain way, or you see the way that God moves, or you know that sometimes you'll go do something and then you'll be like, oh God, help me out of this, and God won't do shit, and you have to crawl out of that hole your damn self and dig your way out the same way you dug yourself in, and then all of a sudden you see God again, and it's like, oh, thanks a lot, thanks for your help, really appreciate that. But you're not happy about it. But once you get up there, it's like, oh well, thank you, and yes, things do feel better up here. And then God's like, pushing your seat up under you and putting your cushion right and fixing your crown on your head and bringing out all of these foods and good things for you to feed on, and you like, well, thank you. It's the prodigal son or the prodigal daughter. What happened? God lays out the carpet for you because look what you went through, and you still came back on your own. I'm going to give you a welcome home. So it be like that. Like, you're going to get a feast from me. But at the same time, you be a little salty because it's like, yeah, but I had to go through all of that by myself. And you want to attack God, but you can't, because the truth is the truth. God never told you to do what you chose to do. You did that on your own. You chose to. And this is how this person will operate and move. Every choice you made is always yours. So you can't point the finger at them. You could try to go to war, but you be at war with yourself. Why? Because this person, although they can initiate all kinds of wars, this person learned war no more. They're at peace with their decisions, what they choose to do, whether it pleases you or whether it doesn't please you or whether it pleases anyone at all. So you can't fight them. And the other key would be to fight yourself. But that's what depression is. We fight ourselves on our worthiness. We fight ourselves on our goodness. We fight ourselves on our faith. We fight ourselves if there ever was a God in the first place. Because I'm down at the bottom of a fucking pit and it's dark down here and I don't see shit. I don't see God or nothing. And then you do a little work and you get up to the top and you can see the crops and the greenery and the sun is still out and life is still moving and people are still happy and you could get a little happy, and yeah. Okay, but anyway, that they push you into that space where you have to face the fact that you are not as powerless as some people and life has tried to make you believe that you are. So you're regaining your power and authority, and power and authority over your emotions too, because this situation is pushing you to this is a chain, a codependency, and unhealthy attachment. But it would actually weigh you down more than it would liberate you eventually. It could feel good for a time period, but the truth that it sheds, the light that it sheds when this person detached, a lot of people don't survive that. But if you do, you will never have to go through that again, because you'll never give someone that kind of power or hold over you emotionally. And like I said, it was unhealthy. They should not have that much power. They should not have that much of an end. They can't become more important than you. Nobody can. Even your children, they need you. They need you. You can't even let your children use you up to the point that you can't be you, because that's not what they need. They don't need an empty shell of a version of you. They need the real you. So you've even got to set up boundaries and put your foot down when it comes to them for their own good. Yeah, look, bottom of the deck. So many lessons to be learned by the devil. Why do you think the devil is such an intricate part, just like Jesus in the Bible? They're both God's sons. They did it different ways. You need to learn all of it. You need to see all of it. You need to understand all of it. And get rid of what does not serve you, what is not good for you, and learn from it so that you can be the real you, the whole you, the true you. Not what they told you you needed to be. Not what you thought you had to be, but what sets you free. What liberates you. All right, you guys. That's the read. That's what I got. And I will see you all in the next one. Oh, yeah, we did an hour and a half today. That was really good. All right, so later on today, let's see, what time will I likely go live? I'm not sure, but it's going to be in the evening. I want to say between 7 and 8, okay? So join me on TikTok, Impress Me, EMPRESS SSME on TikTok. Yeah, probably around 7, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I've been playing around with that time period, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to do it this week or today. Okay? And that's what I have for you. I'm in love with your souls, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.